Kia ora! Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. We are live again here on our Facebook account, and we have another exclusive Client Connect session, and this is regarding New Zealand immigration updates. And of course, yours truly, my name is Em and I am Secure Visa's Digital Program Administrator based here in Auckland, New Zealand. And syempre, we have a very special guest for today's session. Now, this esteemed guest is a holder of Bachelor of Arts degree major in Political Science in Ateneo de Manila University. His admissions include the Supreme Court in the Philippines last May 2006 and in Auckland High Court last July 2008. He is recognized as a leading immigration specialist in our Filipino community here in New Zealand. And totoo po yan, popular na popular po siya dito sa New Zealand. He moved here in 2006, started to practice immigration law, which led to establishing his own firm by June 2018. Ladies and gentlemen, let's all welcome Attorney Jean Bagsic. Hi, Attorney Jean! Kamusta
Ah,
po?
hello Em. Kamusta din? Magandang araw. Okay?
Thank you, Attorney Jean. At nandito na naman po kayo sa amin to give updates to our dear viewers, attendees, and clients.
Yes, of
Maraming
course.
salamat
Anytime.
po.
Anytime. Basta if I have the opportunity, I'll definitely say yes to secure visa.
Oh, thank
Okay?
you po, Attorney Jean. And of course, update lang po sa ating mga viewers and attendees. Right now, here in New Zealand, we are on alert level 3. So somehow nag-loosen po yung restrictions dito. So hopefully, mas mag-loosen na, move to level 2. But as of the moment, we are on level 3. So kia kaha, New Zealand, stay strong. All right. And as always, as of the moment then, borders remain closed for offshore visa application with a bit of exception there. Ha? Extended ito yung offshore applications closure until Feb of 2022. And of course, regarding immigration updates, who is the best person to give it to you? That would be Attorney Jean. At napakasaya nitong news na to. Attorney Jean, I'll give the floor to you po.
Yes, maraming salamat Em. Okay?
Yes
Now, just I think it was anong araw ba 'yon? It was last Thursday.
Thursday po,
Okay?
opo.
Yes, that immigration has announced. Actually, everyone was shocked. I mean, the migrant community was shocked. I mean, happily shocked, di ba?
Yes po.
They announced that they would be granting or opening up a pathway for residents, which is called the 2021 one-off resident visa. Okay? Of course, 2021 tayo ngayon.
Yes po.
One-off. I mean, I don't think this will happen again in this lifetime. Okay?
Yes.
It's probably because of the pandemic, because of the efforts of the migrants while New Zealand was in lockdown, while the borders are closed. So this was probably a wake-up call for the government. They just acknowledge the value and the help that the migrants did during this pandemic. So it's very easy to get the resident visa under this pathway. And at the moment, sabi ng government, they are estimating at least 165,000 migrants who will benefit from this policy. And this is excluding the families back home nila. I mean, this is just the 165 who are in New Zealand. Okay? So I'm expecting a floodgate of talagang of migrants by next year. Okay? Now, this was again announced last Thursday, September 30, and this is only available for those who are in New Zealand on September 29. So again, they announced it on Thursday, pero eligible lang yung mga applicants na nasa New Zealand the other day, the day before. Okay? Now, there will be 2 batches of applications. So one will be opening up on December 1 this year, and that would be open for those with pending resident visa applications. and those will have submitted the EOI or expression of interest na mayroong mga 17-year-old na mga dependent child.
Yes
Now,
po.
the second batch would be open on March 1 next year. And this is the free for all. Okay? So, nandyan yung mga lahat ng di nasama sa December 1. Now, everyone who is qualified can apply on March 1, 2022. And
Yes.
the last day to apply is on July 31 next year. And based on experience, I don't think immigration would extend this deadline. So if you don't apply, you'll definitely miss out. Okay? So important things to note, again, this is just based on the announcement, what's on the website. Kasi at the moment, wala pang details. It's just the requirements in general and the basic the application process in general. Okay? So based on the announcement, no English requirement. Diba? Very good news.
Wow.
Okay? Especially with our kababayan, siya yung talaga yung number one hurdle sa ating mga kababayan,
Yes.
yung English exam, whether it IELTS or PTE or TOEFL or whatever.
Opo.
Okay? So talagang very good news. Second is, hindi nilagay nila yung age limit. Okay? So, under skilled migrant, under WTR, 55 years old is the cutoff. With this one-off, walang age limit. So, siguro kahit 80 ka na, nagtatrabaho ka, pasok ka. Diba?
Ang
And
galing.
actually,
Opo.
I have clients now on work visa as old as 72 years old.
Yes.
So, talagang pasok na pasok sila. Walang age
Pasok.
limit.
Yes po.
Yes. Wala din point system. How you know with the SMC, yung mga point system, forget about point system. Okay? Wala na ring ANSCO. Forget about ANSCO. Okay? Now, if you move on to the next slide, please, Em.
Yan po.
Now, also, based on the announcement, medical and police will only be required if it is required by immigration. Okay? So, di ba, ang mahal ng police certificates, especially if you work overseas, medical, ang mahal ng medical. Okay? So, at the moment, hindi kailangan. Okay? Now, like I've said before, the details, how much it would cost, the process itself, so it will be announced by end of October. But it's definitely out there. They would not back out and sort of change this policy. Okay.
Wow.
Then, punta naman tayo sa mga requirements, M. Okay?
Yes.
So, on this visa, 2021, one-off resident visa, there are 3 basic requirements. Okay? Now, number 1 requirement, you must be in New Zealand, gaya ng sabi ko, on 29 September 2021. So, you must be here last week. Okay?
Yes.
But there's a few exemptions na sinabi. If you're about to come in or applying to come in New Zealand under critical purpose, meaning yung border exemption, you may be eligible. Okay? Yes, kasi karamihan ng mga nag-a-apply ng border exemption, mga healthcare yan.
Yes.
Okay? Healthcare, teachers, and dairy.
Yes.
Okay? So if they're able to come in before July 31 next year, they can apply under this policy.
Wow.
Again, details would be published end of this month. Pero to be safe, 100% sure, yung mga nandito last week.
Apa.
So, second requirement, you must hold an eligible visa. Okay? Eligible visa, may listahan ng immigration dyan. So, nandyan yung essential work visa, kasama ang post-study, kasama yung mga silver fern, kasama yung mga WTR, kasama yung mga domestic violence, migrant trafficking, and marami pang iba. Pero important to note, hindi kasama dyan yung mga naka-open partnership work visa. Okay? So,
okay po.
that is the definition of an eligible visa under the 2021 one-off resident visa.
Okay.
Now, third requirement. Now, I just have to, before I move on, I just want to emphasize yung third requirement, divided yan into 3 parts, A, B, and C. And you only have to have one of the following. So it can either be A, it can either be B, it can either be C. It doesn't have to be all A, B, and C. Okay? So number 1 requirement sa A, under 3A, is you have to be living in New Zealand for at least 3 years. Okay? So the dates that you have to remember on this requirement is that you have to be in New Zealand between September 29, 2018 until
Mhm.
September 29, 2021.
2021. Opo.
Okay. So you have to be in the, so basically to put it simply, dapat nandito ka na September 29, 2018 at hindi ka na umalis. Okay?
Mhm.
But
Okay.
pwede ka umalis for vacation and what? So basta importante, you were here in September 2018
Mhm.
and then nandito ka pa. And then the whole 3 year span, you are here. Okay?
Okay. Mhm.
Now, hindi rin importante if you're entry student or visitor or whatnot. Importante, on September 29, you already hold an eligible visa. Okay? Ngayon,
Okay.
3B. So,
Mhm.
$27 per hour or more. So, $27 is the median wage.
Opo.
So, kahit wala ka pang 3 years, so if you are earning $27 per hour and above, pasok ka under 3B.
Galing. Mhm.
Now, 3C. So kung wala ka pang 3 years, walang 27 yung sweldo mo, pero
Mhm.
nasa scarce list ang yung trabaho, pasok ka rin. So
Mhm.
scarce list is divided into 4 categories ulit.
Mhm.
So nandyan yung long-term shortage, nandyan yung
Mhm.
mga doctors, engineers, IT professionals, the chef, the automotive
Mhm.
technician, etc., etc. Okay? Second part of the list is yung mga registered healthcare and teaching
Mhm.
professionals. So keyword
Yes.
dyan yung registered. So dapat
Okay
registered
po.
doctor ka, dapat registered nurse, dapat registered pharmacist, dapat registered
Ah.
physical therapist, dapat registered teacher.
Opo.
Okay? So you have to be registered. You cannot be a teacher
Mhm.
aide. You cannot be
Mhm.
something who is not registered.
Okay.
Okay?
Mhm.
Number 3, dito pasok yung mga personal carer. So, nandiyan yung mga caregivers natin, mga
Mhm.
healthcare assistants, yung mga support workers. And critical health workers, ito yung mga nakapasok under border exemption. Okay?
Okay po.
So, generally think of healthcare, pasok sila.
Yes.
Okay.
Galing.
Now, the fourth part of the scarce list is yung primary sector. So
Mhm.
primary sector is an industry where yung mga businesses or employers are handling with raw materials and then they are converting ito parang consumer goods.
Mhm.
Okay? Siyempre,
Okay.
pasok dyan, number one ang dairy. Okay? And mga
Yes.
farm workers. Pasok
Mhm.
din dyan yung mga nagtatrabaho sa timber machinist natin. Ang dami-dami natin mga timber machinist.
Machinists. Opo.
Okay. Pasok na dyan yung anything with
Yes.
agriculture, anything with fisheries, anything with crop and gardening, anything with, basta ang dami-daming may listahan ng
Ang
primary
dami.
sector.
Mhm.
So, anything that kept the economy going during this lockdown, anything that industry that kept feeding
Mhm.
the people, anything that kept the business going through the raw materials they converted to consumer goods,
Yes.
they are eligible. Okay?
Grabe. Ang
So
wide
talagang
ang
ang
wide po nung
wide.
scope.
So
Yeah.
kaya I am not surprised na 165,000 ang magka-qualify under this
Wow.
category. Okay?
Ang galing. Ito naman, Attorney Jean, kasi this one is also a new update, di ba po?
Mhm.
Yung regarding sa vaccination requirements for non-citizen travelers to New Zealand.
Yes, this
Opo.
was announced just yesterday. So
Mhm.
meaning all non-citizen, okay, non-New Zealand citizen must be vaccinated to be able to enter New Zealand.
Mhm.
Kahit may border exemption ka, kahit partner ka ng citizen,
Aha.
kahit come here to siguro other healthcare, border
Mhm.
exception, you have to be vaccinated. Okay?
Yes.
Now, it's for 17 years or older. Okay? So may age
Mhm.
limit sila. Kasi sabi ng
Yes.
government, they can only require it for non-citizens kasi we don't want to bear the burden kung magkasakit sila. Kasi gastos
Totoo.
gagamutin ka ng New Zealand eh. If you
Totoo
come
po.
here and unvaccinated. And we know that yung
Mhm.
virus, yung COVID, ang hinahanap niya yung mga unvaccinated eh. Di ba?
Yes. Mhm.
So,
Totoo po.
of course, with citizens, they could not require that. I mean, New Zealand citizens are coming home. They could not
Yes.
add extra requirement. That's why they only require that to non-citizens. Okay?
Yes. Opo. Okay. So, ayan nga po, kailangan nila din i-declare yung vaccination
Yes.
status, no
And we
po?
all know that kapag meron kang misdeclaration, you have submitted false declaration, I mean, they can deport you, immigration. Okay?
Yes.
So
So dapat
don't even falsify documents na vaccinated ka, or don't even dare
yes.
or think about not misdeclaring something that is
Hmm.
not truthful. Okay?
Oh, alam ni Attorney Jean 'yan, naku.
Uh,
Dapat transparent talaga. Thanks,
yes.
Attorney Jean. So ito, dito po tayo naman sa Q&A natin dahil ang daming questions
Yes.
so far. Pero ang una po dito, dairy farmer assistant, accepted po ba dun sa
Yes.
one-off?
Kasama ang dairy farmer, herd manager, assistant herd
Mhm.
manager, farm worker, farm assistant, all the levels, basta nasa farm ka, pasok. Okay?
Pasok. Wow, ang galing. Ang wide talaga. Ito po, allowed to change employer while holding a work visa since 2018. Okay lang ba or wag na munang lumipat?
Okay. Now, based on the announcement,
Mhm.
you only have to meet the requirement on September 29, which is last week, and at the time you lodge. Okay? Kung
Mhm.
ang lilipatan mo is that, halimbawa, yan, nakatirisa siya, so pasok na siya. So it doesn't matter. Pero importante is
Hmm.
yung visa niya. Yung apply yung visa is still
Mhm.
eligible. Okay?
Okay. So, okay lang po. So either
Yes, in short,
lumipat
yes.
siya or okay.
Kaya lang,
All
I
right.
could not say 100% M kasi 'di ba wala pa yung
Yes.
details.
Details,
Pero
yes, opo.
I'm almost certain
In
it is.
general.
Pero of course, pag
Mhm.
nilabas ang immigration, baka magbigay siya ng exceptions,
Yes,
etc.
opo.
Fine print, yan din natin alam.
Yes, opo.
Okay?
That's right po. Di bale po, pag nag-ano naman sila, mag-a-update po ulit tayo sa ating
Yes.
mga
Yes.
attendees po and clients. Ito pong next is, pwede na ba ako mag-apply dito kahit na minimum wage ang sahod ko, pero andito na ako since 2017?
Okay, hindi pa ho open ang pathway. So there are two
Mhm.
slots or two batches, December
Mhm.
1 and March 2022. So
Mhm.
looks like sa March 2022 ka pa lang pwede mag-lodge based on that question.
Oh,
Sino nga nagtanong
opo.
yan?
So sa March
Mm,
20, posibleng
yes,
March 2022 pa po. Okay po.
yes.
Thanks, Attorney Jing. Ito po, naka-lodge na ako ng WTR or yung work to residence po, no? Pwede ba akong mag-apply sa one-off resident visa? Mas mapapabilis ba?
Actually, yes, kasi iba ang waiting time ng WTR residents
Ah,
sa
mhm.
one-off. Okay?
Okay po.
At iba rin kasi ang requirements eh. There are more, I mean, simpler yung mga requirements and less documents ang
Okay.
required. So if you have less
Alright.
documents, if you have less information to get from the client, of course they would grant it faster.
Okay.
Kaya lang ang
Mhm.
unknown dito, M, is the
Opo.
fees.
Yes, yun pa
So,
lang
ibig bang
po.
sabihin, pag may pending ka, transfer ba nila yung fees na binayad mo with
Mhm.
immigration? Ako, kung
Yes.
ita-transfer naman yung immigration, kung i-credit naman nila, I don't see the harm in
Mhm.
moving to that queue on December
Yes.
1 para sa
Mhm.
one-off. Okay? Pero again, we have yet to
Yes.
see whether, kasi ang magpapapigil lang sa client yan is kung meron bang double fees or
Yes.
additional fees.
Opo,
Okay?
kung may further fees pa. Okay. So, ito po, paano po yung mag-cap pa lang, pupunta pa lang sa NZ this October?
Okay, so baka sila yung papasok, gaya ng sabi ko kanina,
Mhm.
generally, you have to be here on September 29, pero
Mhm.
there is an announcement on the website na if you're about to come in, you can come in until 31
Mhm.
if you're entering under critical purpose.
Critical
Meaning ito,
purpose.
critical purpose to.
Opo, opo.
Yes.
So, posibleng ano sila, pwede po dito,
Pasok
no?
na sila based on what's
Yes.
announced.
Oh, that's
Uh,
nice. Okay po. So, yun. Ito po, post-study work visa holder until 2022. Dumating sa New Zealand ng 2019 as a student. Pasok ba ako?
okay, tandaan natin yung three requirements, 3 years,
Mhm.
$27 per hour, and scarce list. Definitely, based on that, hindi siya pasok sa 3 years. So, tanong na lang
Mhm.
ba, ang sweldo mo ba ngayon is 27? Kung hindi 27,
Okay.
dapat scarce list ang yung trabaho.
Opo.
Yun.
Okay. Ayan. So, next po, may listahan na ba ng type of vaccine accepted sa New Zealand?
Now, it's just a fresh announcement yesterday,
Mhm.
but based on the news, kasi wala pa yan sa mga website, wala pang in the law or the policy,
Mhm.
they would come up with government-approved vaccines. Okay?
Okay.
So, of course, dito sa New Zealand, ina-administer lang Pfizer. So,
Opo.
definitely isasama nila ang Pfizer,
Yes.
100%. Pero meron ding isang vaccine approved ng government pero hindi nila ginagamit. It's the Johnson and Johnson or yung Janssen. So,
Mhm.
ako, I can safely say now, mapupunta sa listahan yung Pfizer and Johnson.
Mhm.
Pero yung iba, I don't know. Kasi again, wala pang listahan
Opo.
na binibigay ang New Zealand government.
Alright. So, we just have to wait for further details po, no, Attorney
Yes.
Jean, for this
Yes.
one. Pero ang sure, syempre po, yung Pfizer kasi
Yeah,
yun ang
yung binibigay sa
ina-administer
atin eh.
dito. Opo.
Yes.
Okay, sige po. Thank you. Next po, fully vaccinated na. Kailangan pa bang mag 14-day quarantine?
As of now, based on the policy, yes.
Okay.
Okay? Pero it might
Required pa
change
rin.
next year. Okay? If you're fully
Mhm.
vaccinated. Yes.
Yes, opo.
Mhm.
So, as of now, requirement pa rin po, no? Yung
Yes.
14 days. Alright.
Yes.
Ito po, what proof of vaccination to present?
Now, since it has only been announced yesterday,
Mhm.
they said they will work with government to government to establish a proof of vaccination. Okay?
Okay po.
Like dito sa atin, sa New
Mhm.
Zealand,
Mhm.
we can get it from the Ministry of Health. Okay?
Mhm.
Pero we don't know if that would be accepted in other countries kasi
Ah.
wala pa namang, kumbaga it's still not, there's still no regime about
Mhm.
international vaccination.
Okay po.
So, pag-uusapan siguro yan ng government, pero I think there was parang quarantine pass or passport that
Oo,
I've
yung
seen on the
passport
news.
po, no?
Yung
Opo,
kulay
yung
yellow.
news.
I think it's the government approved proof na vaccinated ka eh. So
Mhm,
siguro pag
mhm.
tinanong ng immigration, pag tinanong ng New Zealand government, what's your proof? Philippines? Siguro yun
Mhm.
ang bibigay nila. I'm assuming
Ah,
I'm not a
opo.
diplomat, I'm not
Yes.
Department of Health, pero I'm assuming that would be the one to be parang gustong ma-recognize ng Philippines
Parang official
by New
ano
Zealand.
po,
Yes.
official
Pero
passport.
kasi 'di ba meron sa Philippines natin mga card or mga ID, I don't think that
Opo.
would be accepted kasi per local government yung mga yan eh. The last time I've checked.
Oh, yes. Kasi po yung parang sinasabing yellow passport ba yun, it's a national one.
Yes, yun yung
Tama
national
po,
eh.
no?
Yes,
So,
oo.
posible po yun ang isa to
Mhm.
present. Pero, further details will ano pa rin po, no? Kasi this is
We're still
fresh news
evolving
eh.
kasi
Opo.
we still have a month kasi November 1 pa naman
Yes.
yun eh. Pero
Opo.
if you're about to come into New Zealand by November, get vaccinated now.
Oh, yes. Opo,
Oo, oo.
definitely.
Yes,
By
yes.
November.
Oo.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Attorney Jean, for that. So, i-remind ko lang po, no, for our existing clients, you may email us at helpdesk@vpeduc.com. And, of course, Attorney Jean, a short message to all our aspiring migrants or existing clients.
Mhm.
Short message lang.
Short message pa? Ako, I would just want to say, this is a huge blessing for the
Yes.
migrant community, especially for our Filipino community. I'm genuinely happy for everyone na pumasok kasi this is a
Mhm.
once in a I think this is a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Mhm.
It will not only benefit those who are living here now, working here in New Zealand, but it will benefit their families back home kasi makukuha nila.
Yes.
They would have a
Opo.
better future here. I'm not saying wala silang future sa Philippines, but I'm comparing it
Mm.
to here na we are living in a welfare state na everything's taken care of by the government, di ba?
Mhm.
And
Yes.
again, it's a one-off recent visa application. Again, it
Mhm.
might not happen again. And
Yes.
for those who are applying, I just want to remind everyone, this is your one last shot. Okay? So make it count. If you're unsure on what to do, okay,
Mhm.
I know there are a lot of people who can do it, who can lodge on their own, process their own visas.
Yes.
But if you're unsure, if you are curious, of you have parang
Mhm.
doubts on how to do it, seek
Mhm.
independent or legal advice, immigration
Yes.
advice. Okay,
Mhm.
it doesn't have to be me. There are a lot
Mhm.
of advisors and lawyers, Jan, out there in
Mhm.
the Filipino community.
Yep.
But ako, from based on experience, I would rather you deal with the Filipino advisor
Mm.
or consultant or
Yes.
lawyer kasi they
Mm-hmm.
know your papers as a Filipino or former Filipino
Yes.
citizen. They would understand, and
Mm-hmm.
they can help you more. Okay? Kasi
Yes.
ako in my experience, ang dami nang lumipat from a non-Filipino, lilipat sa akin, hindi man lang
Mm-hmm.
alam yung mga BIR, SSS, at mga
Oh,
PhilHealth and
yes.
whatnot, o
Opo.
walang divorce sa Philippines, hindi rin
Yes.
alam na English ang salita natin sa university, high school,
Mm.
elementary, mga ganyan. So, it's
Opo.
just frustrating. Of course, it's not their fault. They're not
Yes.
Filipinos or they've not been in the Philippines. But again,
Yes.
those are simple facts or simple
Yes.
situations that would have helped if you're dealing with another Filipino. Okay?
Yes.
So yun
Totoo po
lamang em. I
yan.
mean,
Opo.
I'm saying good afternoon to everyone and just keep safe and
Mm-hmm.
hopefully,
Yeah.
especially in Auckland, we can get out of level 3.
Yes,
Okay?
Attorney Jean. Thank you. Thank you so much. Ito po yan. Hopefully, we'll get out of level 3 na. No
Mm-hmm.
po. Now, to everyone, you can send us an email. That's info@securevisa.com. And you can phone us. We have our numbers posted. And of course, follow us with our Facebook page, Secure Visa Consultancy Services. And we do have our LinkedIn page, so you can add us up. All right. And that's it for me, guys. And Attorney Jean, thanks again for gracing us today. And please continue to be safe and healthy always. And wait for our next updates. All right. See you soon. Bye, guys. Thank you, Attorney Jean.